welcome to another edition of Community Talk right here in Enid, Oklahoma. Hi, I'm Dan Scheidel, the Executive Director of the United Way of Enid, Northwest Oklahoma, and my guest today is Carol Wade, who is the Executive Director of the Garfield County Child Advocacy Council, Incorporated.
That's a mouthful.
It sure is. Well, welcome, and thanks so much
you.
for being here. I should also mention Carol and her agency is one of our partner agency of the United Way, and you do such a super job. Celebrating 20 years of incorporation.
That's what you tell me.
Well,
that's wonderful.
That's what was in your packet when you sent that in.
It is.
So you got started back in 1997, and of course I think your first board was in 98, and then
Yes.
You came on board when?
Actually, I got to help start it in 97. I got to help write the articles of incorporation and everything. I got the first call from the senator saying, do you think we need a place like this?
Yeah.
And my boss said he thought we did, and I should be the staff to the
Okay, so which
committee.
senator was that? And share us a little bit about the history.
It was CDSA.
Okay.
And it was the late Senator Robert Malonchik.
Oh, okay.
And that's why our interview room is named after him.
Great.
When we finally got that all put together, named it after him. But
That's great.
he had a vision that we needed a place like this in the community for kids who are abused or neglected to come to a friendly, child-friendly place and be able to talk about experiences that are horrific.
Horrific, yes. Speaking of horrific,
Yes.
well, let's talk a little bit about the program, how many you serve. I think directly last year alone was 1,600
Yeah.
individuals. Now, was that individuals and families or just individuals?
Probably individuals and families together,
Yeah.
because we have, when a child discloses abuse, we become involved in the investigation of that
Right.
disclosure with forensic interviews, forensic exams, case staffings,
And then you have
victim advocacy.
CASA, right,
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 and
yeah.
then if the case actually gets into the court system, then we have volunteers that can accompany them to court. That's the...
With CASA.
Right, and
Well-
then we can go on further and have the reunification house to put the families back together again.
Right. So you have a couple of different programs, right? You have the, is it the Yellow House?
Yellow House
Yellow
is
House.
the house where we do the forensic interviews.
Right. Okay. Well, let's talk about what happens when maybe a child has been abused and they come to the Yellow House for help.
Well, first of all, they will come to the Yellow House with either a DHS worker or law enforcement or both. And that's the portal of entry through one of those agencies if a child discloses abuse, so that people know where they can contact if a child does disclose abuse to them. But the child and the family come there, not the offender.
Right.
If one of the parents is the offender, they're not allowed in the house. It's a safe house for kids.
Right.
And when you open the door, well, you know, first thing you see is a welcome sign and a whole bunch of stuffed animals.
Yeah. It is very welcoming when you walk
yeah.
in the front door. Yeah.
And that's so that, little kids are apprehensive, but interestingly enough, not as anxious as their parents or their caregivers. And so that's why we have two people meeting them at the door. One is a victim advocate for that child, and another is the victim advocate for the family. So that we can always stay with the child in the house until the forensic interviewer comes, takes them in a room that has a sofa, a couple chairs, they sit down, there are cameras there, and everything is recorded. And that's what goes into the investigation. And our thought was that if we could record it, perhaps we could keep a child from going to court and actually needing to testify in court. Don't know if you've ever been to court when a child has to testify, but court systems are not made for kids.
Right.
And attorneys are not trained to question kids.
Right.
And it becomes another painful experience for a child. So if they don't have to go, then that DVD can go in their place.
Okay.
Sometimes,
I'm sorry, I didn't
go
mean to
ahead.
interrupt.
No.
I was just going to ask you about the multidisciplinary team that really works together,
Right.
From the physicians to...
Right, and that came about because of law also. That who's on that team is actually stated in law. And we have to have a prosecutor, child protective services, medical, mental health,
Boy.
child advocacy, everything to surround that family with all the services they might need. So we can look at that case not just from a an abuse angle, like an investigator looking for the bad guy, but also looking to see, does the family have any other needs? You know, some of our families don't have a place to live. And part of what happened is when they discovered the children and the abuse, they discovered a family that really had many more needs.
Right.
So it's that victim advocate's role then to help connect the family. Or sometimes families are broken up by what's happened as far as the abuse goes.
So do you have rooms then for families to spend the evening,
No,
or do they
no,
put
no.
them in the hotel? Okay,
Nope.
so it's
Nobody-
primarily just for the victim and others that come in.
Right.
They're seen by the professionals,
Yes.
assessed, and then
Right, and then we make connections to the rest of the community.
Gotcha.
And that's why I think our agency is such a partnership with the community, because we have to coordinate with everybody. We could not possibly do all the services, nor would we want to.
Right.
I mean, if the Salvation Army and Mercy House and all that have good services, we don't need to do them again. They're already there.
Right.
We need to learn to use them well.
And that's one of the things about United Way and our partner agencies, that we don't want to make sure, or we want to make sure that there isn't a duplication in services.
Right.
And that's one thing that you do not duplicate services. When we talk about abuse, whether it's young women or children, then we start looking at the YWCA as
Yes.
the next step.
Right. And we
So
actually partner with
do.
them when it comes to the sexual abuse nurse examiner
Right,
exams.
The SANE,
Yes.
it's called the SANE, right?
Right, the
Sexual
SANE
abuse
exams.
nurse examiner,
Uh-huh.
right.
And we share that nurse, and we take children from birth to 15, and then from 15 on, or 16
It's
on,
the YWCA.
they go to the YWCA.
Right. Well, it's a good partnership.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
It's excellent partnership, and working with that executive director, Debbie Wilsick, has been, well, she's been a lifesaver many times.
Well, good. Well, could you tell us a little bit more about the education component? Because there are education components to what you do.
Yes.
Not only for the children, not only for the family, but also those in law enforcement
Right.
that participate.
In fact, the whole community. Part of our responsibility as an advocacy center is to bring education into the community, because I think it's pretty well been proven that education is the best part of prevention. I mean, educate even families, and you're already working toward prevention. But we want our investigators to be the best trained they can possibly be. And so we'll work on grants that get money to train police officers. And we've done that one year, and we're going to do it again, I think, working with them next September, bringing in what they consider state-of-the-art trainers to them.
Now, you do this for a region, right?
Yes.
It's not just
Yes.
here in Enid,
Right.
it's the region. So
Right. And
law enforcement comes for training, and
Yes.
we provide that.
Right, and I
That's
prefer to provide it to small communities. I mean, Oklahoma City people have access to a whole lot more training than our guys do out in small little towns.
Right. So we're talking about the rural communities
Right,
that we
and
serve.
all the way out to the Panhandle if we need to.
Right.
And bring that training to them so it's affordable.
So the Garfield County Child Advocacy Council really serves the region. It doesn't serve just Enid. We have families that come in from Blaine County and other counties. You have
Yes,
at least
from other
five or
states.
six but
Yes.
primarily 5 or 6 counties, right?
Yes.
And Garfield County being our
Right.
primary one.
But the way child laws are written also, if something happens somewhere else and the child is here, then usually the child is interviewed here rather than moving it all the way to someplace else.
Yeah. Well, okay, so you have the Wooden Children Project.
Oh,
You always see
yes.
the wooden children out
Yes.
on the courthouse lawn,
Yes,
right? Tell us a little bit
right.
about that.
That started as just to create awareness. It's a great visual for saying, these, now we have, although it's a wooden child, we have a child to go with each of these cases we talk about.
And so they're represented by
Absolutely,
individual
and
children,
people foster them, they dress them, and then bring them
I
back
know
to
we
the
usually
courthouse.
get a few kids that
Oh, yeah.
we adopt. So
Yeah, and it's really been a big hit in the community. Plus, I think I called the city to find out how many cars went by that location. That's why when we put in that application that 300,000 people will pass that
okay,
way and
okay.
see those kids. We couldn't have asked for a better opportunity to make people aware
right.
of what's happening in this county.
And another awareness opportunity is through your luncheons that you usually do on an annual basis, and that's a Forget-Me-Not luncheon. You can tell us a little bit about
Usually, it used to be in the spring. Now it's kind of headed toward the summer, and but it was named the Forget-Me-Not luncheon just because of that. We don't want people to forget about the victims of child abuse, and all the money that we raise there goes into our endowment fund, because several years ago our funding was all in danger of going away, and it went away. And it scared our board, so that we decided we needed to do something long range, and that's what we came up with. It'll be a while until our endowment grows big enough, but anyone can contribute to the endowment too.
There you go. And how would they do that?
Just call the community center or the foundation. They'll be more than happy to.
And the number?
Of the
Do you know what
community foundation, I do not know.
Oh, it's the community foundation. Okay,
Yes, it
okay.
is.
Well, we'll get that number up on the screen. I'm
Okay.
sure Dane and the AJ and the gang will do that.
Or they can send it to us. No, I don't. They can't. They
No,
have
it has to
take
go
it
through the foundation. Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah, because you're building an endowment.
Exactly.
Right, gotcha. And then there's the Care Campus. Can you tell us the difference between the Care Campus, the Yellow House, you've got a couple of facilities, right?
And the Care Campus was somebody's idea. It's a child abuse, I can't remember, response education campus. It has our administrative offices, that building, the Yellow House you talked about, and then the White House, it's our reunification house.
I think I've been in there once.
Oh, you need to go
When I first
in
got
there.
here, I need to stop by again, yeah.
That house really gets a lot of use.
Yeah.
And we don't do anything with it except maintain it. DHS uses it. We keep it stocked and maintained just for DHS. I mean, that's another thing that we give back to the community too, because they needed it for families to visit in a home-like setting rather than an office.
Right. Do you receive funding from DHS?
No.
No state funding?
No, our state funding, yes,
Yes,
and it
okay.
goes through DHS, but ours is a state appropriation from the legislature.
And what percentage of your budget is that?
Oh,
you know, you remember?
I do not remember of the whole thing. I'm thinking it's probably 40% maybe.
Oh, it's still a good portion.
Yes, it is.
And you've seen cuts, I'm sure.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
When we started out, I think we were in the 100,000s, and we're down in the 80s now.
Yeah.
And if we were just dependent on that, we would be really in trouble, because all our houses are old, and old houses cost a lot to maintain.
Right.
And
Yes.
that's why the funding from the United Way is absolutely invaluable to us, and we're so grateful we got it.
We're glad to be a partner, and it's all about fighting for the health and the education and financial security of everyone in our community, and not only just here in Enid, but also in the region.
Yes.
So,
right.
Well, thank you so much, Carol. Anything else you want to mention before we kind of wrap up and say goodbye to our audience?
Probably just, again, to thank you.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, your money is so valuable to us because it has very few strings attached, and it comes from our community. We know that when we get it from you, our community is supporting us, and we can tell that to other funders too. Our community likes us and will fund us.
That is great, and we want to thank everyone out there that has supported the United Way, that supports Garfield County Child Advocacy Center, and we're so thankful that we have a good community that is so generous and so supportive. And so thank you again for being here.
You're welcome.
And we want to say thank you for joining us for Community Talk. Hope that you'll stay tuned and watch the next episode of Community Talk. Thanks.
Hi, my name is Blake Recknagel, and I'm with Gaslight Theater. I'm one of the instructors with Gaslight Kids Drama Camp, and you can find us on Facebook or at gaslighttheater.org. Check us out on Community Talk.
Welcome to Community Talk. I'm Lori Johnson, the marketing coordinator for Leonardo's Children's Museum. Today I'm here with Jamie Smith, the spring break camp counselor, and we're going to talk about spring break at Leonardo's Children's Museum.
Hi, welcome, and I'm glad to be here. We are so excited to have our spring break camp back because the last few years we haven't been able to have it because we haven't been able to have a place. And now that we have our new annex ready to go, we're able to have our spring break camp there. Last summer we had summer camp there, and this year we're going to have spring break camp again there. Okay?
How exciting.
Yeah, it's going to be great. Our theme is staycation. So a lot of our kids who don't get to go on vacation during spring break camp are going to be able to do staycation during spring break camp with us. All right?
Well, that sounds fun. I know staycation has been used many, many times. And what does it mean? It means when you come, you don't actually go to those locations, but you are staying here, but yet you have a vacation.
Right. And so we're going to be able to take some virtual field trips. And then each morning when they come, they'll get to go actually to the place we're talking about and see what it's like there, do some looking at the place, talking about the place, exploring the place, but then go back to their classroom and either do some art or science and technology with the place, all right?
And it's all hands-on.
It is.
It's not just sit in lectures. It's fun.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely
energetic.
not. They're going to be able to do age-appropriate activities every single day with a certified teacher in the classroom and have a blast every single day. So I'd like to tell you about some of our staycations that they're going to be able to do.
I can't wait to hear what
All
you're going to tell
right,
me.
excellent. On Monday, the very first day, we're going to Ireland because it's going to be the 19th of the month of the month, and so of course the 17th of March is
St. Patrick's Day.
St. Patrick's Day, and so when they come, there might be a mystery guest who has left this mystery for them to solve that day, and they're going to be looking for something kind of, I don't know, maybe some golden things for them to find. And during the day, when they first arrive, they're going to go on their virtual field trip to Ireland. And then they're going to be able to go back to their classrooms and talk about rainbows and talk about hats and talk about maybe some leprechauns and things like that. Do all kinds of art that has to do with Ireland. Okay?
And it's educational, too.
It is.
Because
It's
they're learning while they're having fun.
And they won't even know it.
Which is the best part, Mom and Dad, right?
Right. Absolutely. The second day, on Tuesday, staycation to Grand Canyon. I mean, lots of kids dream of going places like that and maybe not ever get to go, but we're going to take them to the Grand Canyon on their virtual field trip first thing in the morning, and then we're going to be doing all kinds of things with natural resources throughout the day.
What sort of things can the kids expect?
You know, I'm totally leaving that up to our teachers because their minds are so open and full. But if you think about art with natural resources, it's going to be amazing.
Lots of colors, vibrancy.
Oh, yeah, sure.
And, of course, I would imagine there's some statistics going on in there as well because Big Canyon.
Yeah, absolutely. On Wednesday, this is going to be amazing. Science and STEM. STEM stands for Science, Technology, Engineering, and Math, okay? What better to do it than going to Legoland? Legos, 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 all right? So we're going to be doing STEM and science. Obviously, the teachers get to use their ideas on what they want to do, but I can only imagine. Can you imagine building a volcano out of Legos and then erupting it? I mean, we've done volcanoes with all kinds of other materials, but Legos, wow. And then you can give them all kinds of ideas of things to build, but if they have the actual plans to build it, but then they have to use those plans and build it. That's using the STEM model.
What ages are this camp? Because I don't know that we've addressed that yet.
Pre-K to 5th grade.
All right. Now, do they group them all together?
No.
Tell us what about
Each
that.
class is their own age group. So whatever class they're in at the present, then they go. Pre-K is together. Kindergarten is together, 1st and 2nd is together, 3rd, 4th, and 5th is together.
So no one's going to be bored. This is
Absolutely
highly
not.
age appropriate, ready for the right type of wherever those children are.
Absolutely, and the teachers know that.
Right.
So when they're thinking up their lesson plans, they are really going to be doing age-appropriate lesson plans.
So it's not just, it's very individualized.
Yes.
So, I mean, overall, it's a staycation. Overall, it's the theme, but it's very individualized based on the student's age and abilities.
That's right. Day number 4, Great Barrier Reef.
Oh,
My goodness, beautiful art is going to come out of Great Barrier Reef. They're going to learn about the animals that are living in this living thing already, and then they're going to do the most beautiful art that comes out of the Great Barrier Reef. It's going to be amazing. Can you imagine us teaching them and then them going home and teaching their siblings, their parents, everybody just about what they've learned? Day number 5, where our six-legged friends live. Six-legged friends being insects. And then we're also going to put that into the OKMN is bringing our big traveling exhibit to Leonardo's soon after that. So it's going to be live, not live, but the biggest living animals that you can imagine. So grasshoppers, ants, all these living live animals that look huge, like our dinosaur exhibit, but they're coming to Leonardo's. And we are going to have real animals in our critter room, new ones that are going to be kind of things they can explore then too. So this will lead into that will be coming soon after spring break camp is over. So, you know, I mean, this is going to be great for parents who have to work over spring break, need a place for their kids to go.
That's true.
It's very flexible. So if you're going to take a long vacation at the beginning, maybe you're going to be gone Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, and only need someone Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, bring them.
Right.
Maybe you think you only need somebody Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and you're going to be gone Thursday and Friday, bring them. If you need somebody Monday through Friday, bring them. Our doors are open from 7:45 in the morning until 5:15 at night, okay? So all day you're at work, we're there for you. The classes start at 8:30 in the morning and they're finished at 4:30, but that before care and after care is there without a charge, okay?
Now the students need to bring a lunch, though. Is that true?
Absolutely. A
Okay.
sack lunch they need to bring if they're going to be there all day. If you're enrolling your child only in the morning session,
Right.
no sack lunch needed. Only in the afternoon session, no sack lunch needed. All day, yes.
Right.
Also, we serve healthy snacks morning and afternoon, and all the materials that your child needs is available to them. So that's
So everything's included. There's
Yes.
no extra charge for art supplies. That's all part of the camp.
That's right.
Well, that's cost savings for many parents.
Absolutely.
If you were to do this at your home and
Yes.
you had to be a state certified teacher, you have all these materials, I just don't think you could replicate it.
Yeah. If you look on Pinterest and you try to
Right.
replicate all of these different things
Right.
every day,
Right.
yeah, it really does add up, slime every day, all these fun things your kids want to make. It really is going to get to be a lot of money, but we have it all right there. It's going to be amazing. Another thing, there are scholarships available for those who qualify. If you don't know if you're going to qualify, all you need to do is call the front desk, ask for Sunny, and she will be glad to help you and see if you can qualify for a scholarship. That is something that we really, that's something that we really want to help people out for.
That's great for the community.
Yeah, absolutely.
What a bonus and help for
Yes.
families that might need that.
And you know what? If you have a membership to Leonardo's, did you know that you can get a discount?
No, the camps include a discount because you're a
There
member.
is a discount
Okay,
if you
that's
are a
good.
member. So think about that when you're looking for a place for your child for spring break. And you don't even have to be working. If you have a few days where you need to, I don't know, just have a day to yourself over spring break and you need a place for your kid to go, bring them. Yeah, bring them on.
Tell me, now, we haven't done it in a bit. Now, obviously, the summer camps, but we haven't done the spring break camp.
Right.
When we used to do it, what was the experience for the kids when they got done after a day? What was that like?
Oh, the kids would come to they would come to me in my office and they would say, Miss Jamie, what are we doing tomorrow? What's my teacher got planned for tomorrow? Or Mom, when are we doing this again? Or when is summer camp? They can't wait then. It's just, they are so pumped and so excited for every single day. They love camp. They love the science. They love the art. They love showing. On Fridays, the very end on Friday, we have what we call our big showing. And it's an art show. And so they get on stage, show something their favorite thing was from the week, let the parents, grandparents, everybody come and watch. And then they get to say, this is what I did at spring break camp and this is why I love it. And it is amazing.
So instead of just not doing much of anything. You can have a whole week of fun.
Absolutely.
And learn something as well, right?
Absolutely, yes.
Parents in the past, have they known about this? Is this, something that we still need to reach out to the community
Yes,
as a resource?
we really do. We really do, because Leonardo's is known for summer camp. Leonardo's is known for field trips. Leonardo's is known for all of those things. But some spring break camp sometimes gets kind of pushed to the side, and parents don't realize that we're there to offer that resource for them.
And people might not realize this is coming up soon.
It is. It really is. The school year's going fast.
When can they start signing up for this?
This week.
This week.
Call.
And there's discounts, I understand, if they sign up early.
Oh, yes. Let's see. It says on here, if you enroll early, you get a discount. Your second child is 10% discount. So remember, multiple children discount. February enrollment, 20% discount.
So
Okay.
it really, and these camps could fill up.
Oh,
so
yes.
you really don't want to wait. You save money, and your child is in the
And
spot.
different days might fill up too.
That's true, because there is flexibility, I think, is
Yes.
what say you don't want to go the whole week, but you want to do a bit of the week.
Yes,
You
so
have that flexibility.
Lego Day might fill up,
Right.
there might be different days that fill up faster.
So you definitely want to get early.
Absolutely. Get in and get signed up, and let us help you with your spring break. Come take a staycation with Leo's.
Well, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
And this has been Community Talk. I'm Lori Johnson, Marketing Coordinator for Leonardo's Children's Museum, and this is Camp Director Jamie Smith. Thank you for your time.
Hi, I'm Ashley Gore with Autry Technology Center, Coordinator for Business and Industry Services. If you're interested in a class, flip through our catalog and see if we have anything to offer. Otherwise, we can do customized training as well. Feel free to contact us at Autry Technology Center and ask for Ashley Gore. Watch for us on Community Talk.
Hi, and welcome to Community Talk. I'm Julie Nelson, the Community Relations Director for Hospice Circle of Love. We are one of the longest existing hospices in Oklahoma. We're a not-profit organization headquartered in Enid, and we serve a 60-mile radius. Today we want to let you know about an event we have coming up for those who are struggling with grief. It is our community grief group, and it's open to anyone 18 and over in the community. And with me today, I have Gary Miller, our chaplain, who will be leading that group.
Yes.
Talk about the importance of the grief group. Why do you do it?
Well, it's important for people to grieve properly. Sometimes we liken it to getting a splinter and not doing anything about it, and then it just gets infected, and one day it just explodes, and then you have a big mess on your hands. And when we don't grieve the proper way, a lot of times things get built up on the inside, and one day we have that little bump and we explode, and people think, where did that mess come from? And so anyway, so it's good. And also by attending the grief group, you realize that this is not something that is unique to you as an individual, but there are a lot of other people that are going through that same thing. As you attend that, you begin to find that there can be friendships and bonds that are formed with other people, and so it's a very good thing. It's a healthy thing.
Yes. And you'll be holding those every Tuesday in February in the evening, right?
Yes, that'll be from 5 to 6 o'clock there at our office, 314 South 3rd, and here in Enid. And we will have it there in the office, and we certainly encourage anybody and everybody that can and feels like they would benefit from it to come and be a part of that.
Okay. And of course, you always encourage people to come to all 4 sessions. Do you want to talk a little
Yes.
bit about some of the things you cover in the different sessions?
Well, yeah, it's important that you attend each of the sessions because they build on each other. First of all, we address the fact that you have to admit, I've lost somebody.
Right.
That admission. And then in order to move forward, you have to go backward sometimes. And
Okay.
so we go back and we do some things that help us to remember the loved one that has died. We give them an opportunity to talk about them. We give them an opportunity to bring an item that would kind of portray who they were and some of the things they did in life. And then we begin the process of moving forward. And especially for like someone that's lost a spouse, the thinking has changed from we to me.
Okay.
It's no longer us, but I. And so we begin to help them in that respect. It's not that we actually do counseling, but we give them a safe space to come and to share their feelings. I guess we're like Las Vegas in that respect. What happens in grief group stays in grief group.
Yeah, that's true.
So anyway, but yeah, and then we move forward. We give them a lot of tools and information on how to deal with grief and what they can do to make that transition now into life without this loved one that they've lost.
Okay. And there's not really any timeline that you expect from people. I know everyone grieves differently, so you might have someone who has a new loss and someone who has a loss that's several years old in the group together.
Right. We've had people come that has just recently lost someone, and like you said, some people have come and maybe they lost someone 2, maybe even 5 years ago, and they just never did learn how to deal with that grief. And so they come, and many people have told us what a help it is. We've even had those that will come, and to them it's so beneficial, they'll come again to the next grief group session, which is fine.
Oh, yeah.
We encourage them to come as often as they need to come.
Good. And you do this 3 times a year, correct?
3 times a year. We do it in February, we do it in June, and then we do it again in October.
Okay.
And we always announce it and advertise it as the first 4 Tuesdays of the month, because sometimes there's 5 Tuesdays in a month.
Right.
And so it's always the first 4 Tuesdays of each of those 3 months.
Okay. Let's talk a little bit more about our bereavement program. What are some of the other things that we do to help people who are grieving?
Well, we stay in contact with the families, especially those that have been on hospice care. We send out cards, we make phone calls and contact them. If extra visits are necessary, we go and make those visits that are necessary. In the event someone is having a very real difficult time, we do have a licensed counselor that we can refer them to, and they can go and get some professional help, much more than what we're able to give them. But yeah, we tell people we're there, we're available. If they need a listening ear, we're that ear. If they need a shoulder to cry on, we're that shoulder.
I know you have a lot of materials as well that you can loan someone or give someone about grieving.
We do. We have materials. Some of it is things that we can just give to them. We do have books that we're willing to loan out and share with them that they can take and read, and sometimes they can find the help and the comfort that they need in those books.
And there is a little bit of information on our website as well.
Yes, we post those things on there, and that way people can look at the website, and there they can find what they need as far as information and helps.
And there's actually a grief page on that website, which is hospicecircleoflove.com, so it's easy to remember.
Right.
And then, of course, our Tree of Life, that also plays into our bereavement program.
Yes, Tree of Life, it's probably one of the largest things that we do during the year. We have the ornaments on the tree, and with those ornaments that we have the names of those that have passed on, and the family wants to remember them. And so we take the time to read each of the names of those that are on the tree, And then at the conclusion of the service, the family members are free to come up and take the ornaments off the tree. If they want more than one ornament, they're welcome to purchase those. And we just put one per name on the tree. Otherwise, we'd run out of trees.
Yes.
But we do make it available to have more than one ornament, and they're welcome to come and pick those up as well at the end of the service.
Now, we've been talking a lot about after the patient passes away. While the patient is still alive, you are helping them and their loved ones a lot as well. Can you kind of talk about some of the things you do as a chaplain for the patients and families?
I like to make sure that the patient in their spiritual walk is comfortable with who they are and what they've experienced. I like for them to know that if there's anything they want to share or need to share, that they have that liberty to share that with me. So it's more of a spiritual and an emotional comfort that I'm there for them. The families, a lot of times, we're there for them as well. Sometimes the patient has come to terms with dying, and they're ready for that transition. The families then sometimes struggle with it. And so I'm there to kind of give them some guidance and support as well.
Yeah.
Sometimes the homes that I go to, it's not even so much for the patient as it is for the families. And they have a lot of questions, and I'm able to help them and to give them that encouragement that they need.
Yeah. You know, a lot of times when we have someone on hospice, they may only be with us a short time. And a lot of times you hear the family say, oh, I wish I had called sooner. And of course, that physical support from the nurse, you know, with the pain and symptom management is very important, and the bathing that the aide does and those kinds of things. But I think people don't even think about that spiritual aspect and how much support they're going to get from the chaplain and from the volunteer and from some of those other support services. So important.
Right. And as a chaplain, sometimes we really don't even talk about spiritual things. Sometimes it's just the fact that I'm there and they can share their story.
Yeah.
Whether it be the patient or the family, they can share the story of that person's life.
Yeah.
And they can do that.
I think it's really important for someone who is at the end of their life, too, I've read about this, to kind of go through and share that. It's called a life review. And they want to talk about their life and share it and feel like they've contributed a lot to the world.
Right. I've encountered times when I've visited with patients and family members have sat and listened, and then when we leave, they shake their head and said, I've never heard that story before.
Wow.
So it's, yes, they like to let you know what their life was and how they lived it.
And another person besides the chaplain that they often share those kind of things with are the volunteers.
Yes.
And I wanted to mention that we also have a volunteer class coming up in February. It's going to be the 1st and the 8th from 9 to noon there at our office. And we're always looking for great people to join our team, of course.
Yes.
I think the volunteers really contribute a lot to our services as well.
They make a big difference. I have families that tell me how much they appreciate the volunteers coming in to be there for the patient, sometimes to be there for the family, to give them some respite so that they can get away and take care of things and just have a break themselves.
That's really important when you're caring for someone 24/7. You know, you might need to go to the bank or get your hair done or you know, something like that. And it's nice to have somebody be able to step in that's been trained, you know, and you can trust to watch your loved one.
Right. And that's certainly what we want to do is those that would like to give back into the community, we would like to encourage them to come and be a volunteer. And there's more than just going and visiting patients. We have things there around the office that need to be done from time to time. There's always help needed at Tree of Lifetime.
Yes.
And just there's just a lot of things that they can do to be a part of our company and a part of the system.
Of course, our fundraisers, we really couldn't do those without the volunteers. And we count on those to help us supplement our income to care for our patients that don't have a hospice benefit through Medicare or insurance. So it's really nice to have them for that as well.
Right, right. And I'm not in the office a lot. I'm in and out making visits, but a lot of times when I am there, I see the volunteers coming and going as well. And it's a big help and a blessing to us to have them to be on board with us.
We really appreciate them.
Yes.
And so again, I just want to give out the dates and times of our upcoming events. That grief group is open to anyone in the community 18 and over who is grieving, and that is going to be every Tuesday in February from 5 to 6 p.m. at our office on South 3rd. And then our volunteer class will be the 1st and the 8th of February from 9 to noon at our office. And you do need to register for both of these events, so just call our office. You can call Gary about the grief group, and
Yes.
you can call me about the volunteer class. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Lisa Magyar with Creative Arts Enid. Find us on Facebook and our website, creativeartsenid.com. We're at 222 East Maple. Come get creative with us and watch for us on Community Talk.
Hi, and welcome back to Community Talk. I'm Julie Nelson. I am back now with Keena Swanson, and we want to tell you about the American Cancer Society's Relay for Life, which will be coming up later in the year. Keena, why don't you tell us when the event is coming up?
Okay, our event here in Enid is June 1st, and it will be from 6 p.m. until 10 p.m. We used to go all night, but we're not doing that anymore. We've shortened it a little bit, but opening ceremonies will be at 6 o'clock, and we will have our survivor lap to honor all of our loved ones that have fought cancer or that have passed or that are fighting cancer at this time. And then when it gets dark, we will have our luminary ceremony where we will honor those that we've lost, but also those that are still fighting the disease as well. So we are currently looking for teams. I think
Okay.
we have 16 right now, which is amazing.
Great.
So, and a team, and I just want to clear this up. This is not a 5K. It's not a run.
Right.
It is a team of 5 to 20 people, maybe, and we ask that each person on the team raises $100 at
Okay.
least, and then they come together, and that evening we just celebrate all of our loved ones that have fought cancer.
Yeah.
So.
This is such an important event for the American Cancer Society. It's really your biggest event of the year.
It is. It is the American Cancer Society's signature fundraising event. And the neat thing about this is that we support research for all types of cancers. It's
Okay.
not just breast cancer or colon
Right.
cancer or pancreatic cancer. It is all cancers, children's cancers, adult cancers. We do fund research for all types.
Sure.
So.
And I know that there are some other things that they do with the money as well, besides just research.
We have programs and services for anyone that's going through the cancer treatments. Here in Enid, we have the wig room at the Women's Imaging Center. And it's really nice for a lady who is just getting started before her hair falls
Sure.
out to go, and they will find a wig that is similar to her own hair. And they'll fit her for that and show her how to style that. We have the Look Good, Feel Better program where they teach women how to put on their makeup, and a lot of ladies lose their eyebrows and their eyelashes.
wow.
So they teach them how to deal with that so that they still feel pretty going
Yes.
out in the public. So
That's important.
we have Road to Recovery, which is always needed here. We need people who will drive patients to their treatments.
Okay.
Because unfortunately, some patients don't have family here,
Right.
or they don't have a vehicle, or they're too sick to drive themselves, and so they need somebody to help drive them to their treatment so that they can still get that. So
Yeah.
that's something we're working on here. In Oklahoma City, we have lots of hotels where they can get them free of charge or at a discounted rate if they have to stay in Oklahoma City.
Nice.
So that's something we're working on that here too. So
Great.
that's just a few of the things that we have, but we have a lot of programs free of charge to help our patients.
Yeah. Well, I know a lot of the teams do fundraisers throughout the year to bring in funds for this event. Do you want to talk about some of those?
Our first big event is next Thursday at on January 25th at the Oakwood Mall in the where the Vanity store used to be.
Oh,
it's
yes.
just an open room they're letting us use from 6 to 8, and we're going to ask anybody that is just interested in Relay for Life, if they want to be on a team, if they want to be a corporate sponsor, if they're a survivor, just anything that they want to know about Relay for Life. We're asking them to come to this event. We're going to have food. We've got some guest speakers. We've got 2 or 3 cancer survivors that are going to tell their story, which
that's
is always
nice.
really touching.
Yeah.
We'll be able to purchase luminaries in honor of our loved ones that have had cancer. And we'll have door prizes, and it's just going to be a great kickoff event for the year.
Yeah.
So all of the teams, they're selling cookbooks right now. They're all doing something different.
Cool.
Just between now and June, but right now we're selling cookbooks, we're selling t-shirts. St. Mary's Cancer Center has a really awesome event that they've got planned on Saturday, January 27th at the old Dexius Oncology Building.
Oh,
They are having the Power of Purple Affair. So it's kind of like a Fair of the Heart, but scaled way down. So they have like 10 vendors. They've got Dot Small, Blazer Bling, Essential Oils, Hot Works, Lip Sense, LuLaRoe, Mary Kay, Pampered Chef, a whole bunch of vendors that are coming in, and they're some of them are donating their portion of their proceeds, or they are donating items to the relay. They're going to have a bake sale, they're going to have food that day too, and they're also going to have a silent auction.
Wow.
So that's a great way that the community can support the St. Mary's team.
yeah, that
So,
sounds like a
yeah.
great event. You mentioned the luminaries. Do you want to explain that program a little bit?
Okay, the luminaries, they are a white sack that are in honor or in memory of a loved one who has been diagnosed with cancer. And when it gets dark at the event, we line our walking area. And when it gets dark, we put a candle in there, we light it, and then we take a silent lap to honor our loved ones that we've lost, or that are still fighting, or that have fought and have won their battle. It's just a kind of a time to reflect and just think about what they've been through.
Yes.
Because until you go through it with a family member or a friend, you don't really understand it. So,
Sure.
so it's just a good time to reflect and give some support to our loved ones.
Yeah. And this is going to be downtown on the square?
Downtown on the square on June 1st. We are coordinating with First Friday.
Great.
So, and they are doing great at working with us. We've got some food trucks coming and stuff.
Nice.
So, yeah, so we're going to start at 6 o'clock this year instead of 7. So we're hoping we've got some changes going on, but I think it's all going to be good.
Okay.
I have 2 new event chairs who
Oh,
are
great.
young and very energetic, Amanda Goodpaster and Amanda Mojica, the two
Nice.
Amandas. And they have done an amazing job, and so I'm really excited for this year. So
Good. And is there a website that people can go to register?
there is. It is www.relayforlife.org/Garfield COOK.
Okay.
So we also have a Facebook page that is Garfield County Relay for Life, Enid, Oklahoma. So if you want to look us up on Facebook.
Great. And do you have a certain goal that you're trying to meet?
Our goal this, I believe it's 55,000.
Okay.
We raised 52,000 last year,
Oh,
so they always
great.
bump it up just a little bit. So I think it's 55,000.
Well, that money goes a long way.
It does, and you know we don't really look at that goal because anything that we raise is more than
Yes.
what we had, and so we just appreciate any amount of donations. So
Definitely. Okay.
okay,
Well, thank you.
thank you, and we hope that you guys will all come to see us on January 25th at the Oakwood Mall in the Vanity old Vanity storeroom.
Thank you.
Hi, this is Carmen Ball. I'm the Executive Director at Hedges Regional Speech and Hearing Center. We've been on East Randolph for over 50 years, and if you have any questions about hearing or speech for yourself or someone in your family, please give us a phone call. Watch for us on Community Talk. Take care.